Raditz, Early Saiyan Saga, plus Buu Saga Gohan. Now, Raditz might honestly be the best example, I think, of a Saiyan who never evolved at all. I've talked about it quite a bit. He was strong, he was aggressive, he was confident, right? But mentally, he was still operating like a low-level soldier, serving a dead empire. And when you think about it, it's kind of embarrassing. The Saiyans had been wiped out. Raditz, as a kid, when he's on that planet with Vegeta at a time of one of their missions, doesn't care about the eradication of his planet, yet he's still carrying out his mission as if the Empire was still intact. It doesn't really make sense to me, because even as a child, when you look at someone on the opposite end of that spectrum, actually his nephew that he ended up terrorizing, and that is Gohan. Gohan is the immediate contrast to Raditz in such a well-placed way, because Gohan's emotional depth already exceeded what Raditz had been as an adult. Gohan had already had more emotional depth than him at the age of 4. Think about how crazy that is, right? Raditz obviously represented old Saiyan programming, like a lot of others in that race. But Gohan, with that contrast, represented what Saiyans could become if they evolved past conquest alone. Segment 4, Broly, Dragon Ball Super, and Raditz, DBZ Early Saiyan Saga. Now, I think Broly is fascinating from this Dragon Ball Super rendition that Toriyama personally brought back to life, because he's basically the most raw Saiyan instinct that you could have in a Saiyan warrior, taken to an unnatural extreme. There's no structure, there's no emotional regulation, there's just survival and explosive adaptation. And then when you take all of that in a ball and you compare it to Raditz on the other side, you realize something brutal if you're really paying attention. You see, Raditz had the mindset of a Saiyan without the overwhelming talent needed to survive that lifestyle. Broly survives lifestyle because nature made him monstrous by default. Raditz dies because he was average inside a culture that had only respected dominance. Now, imagine Raditz and his Saiyan mindset with Broly's power. That is a Raditz we are having a completely different conversation about, and you can't even begin to process how much different, and again, brutally different, that version of Raditz would be compared to what we've known of today. Even compared to Broly, because remember, Broly, for the most part, at least in Dragon Ball Super's version, he doesn't want to fight. He likes training now that he's been invited to Lord Beerus' planet and he's with stronger beings than himself at this period in time. But when it comes to actually wanting to fight and terrorize and destroy things based off of, conscious thought alone, that is something Raditz only wants to do. And if he had Broly's power, yeah, that'd be really scary.